Most guys are out here spending an entire year in the gym, lifting weights, doing their little curls in the mirror, and somehow ending up looking exactly the same as day one. That's not a training arc. That's just suffering, which is why I'm going to give you the exact 90-day blueprint that actually delivers results. I'm going to diagnose why you might not be making gains in the first place, show you the exact plan you need to fix it, and how to execute that plan with ease. But before we get into the blueprint, we need to start with the horseman diagnosis. I see so many guys come and go from the gym because they just don't know how to get results. And after working with loads of guys in my Shonen Strength community, all of which who come to me with the exact same problem, I realize that not everybody is suffering the same way. In fact, there are 4 horsemen of gain killers that so many different guys are dealing with. So let's first work out which horseman you've got. Now, if this sounds like you probably have horseman number 1. Think about Saitama. He went from a random broke salaryman to the strongest man alive. Not because he had a fancy gym membership or a convenient protein shake, but because every single day he worked his ass off to break his limiter. He went until he physically couldn't go anymore. But imagine if he didn't. He decided to take it easy once in a while. Instead of doing 100 push-ups, maybe just settle for 50, give his legs a little break, maybe not run too fast, or just take a day off entirely. He'd probably still have his hair. But if he did, he would probably go a whole year waiting for his hero glow up to come, when in reality, it would never show up. If you're going to the gym or you're working out and you're trying to do your comfortable little set of 10, putting the weights down, then just scrolling on your phone for 5 minutes, you're in the horseman of just not training hard enough. Your muscles literally have no reason to grow because you're just not giving them one. I'm not saying you need to destroy yourself every day just like Saitama, but you probably could be going harder during your workouts and actually learning to find your limit. Now, some of you might be training hard enough, but still not making the gains you deserve because you are in horseman number 2. Let me know if this sounds like you. Think about Sanji from One Piece. His whole thing is feeding the crew. The man is literally quoted saying, "A starving man is the same everywhere." And he's not wrong. If the Straw Hats showed up to fight Kaido, having eaten nothing but Doritos and Mountain Dew, they'd have been cooked. Actually, they were cooked anyway. But that's besides the point. The point is, your food is your fuel. You are what you eat. And if what you eat is garbage, you're gonna be garbage. If you're not eating enough protein, not eating the right stuff, your body literally cannot build the muscle that you want it to, or even give you the energy to work out in the first place. And that's just wasted potential right there. But what if you know you're eating right, training hard, but you're still not making gains? Well, let's see if you fall into horseman number 3. Think about Zenitsu early in the series. Always making excuses, always terrified, always looking for a way out. He could fight, but he just never went all in because fear is what gave him a reason to hold back. And it wasn't until he found out that his master died did he finally lock in. He realized that the switch was there. He was just not willing to flip it. Now, what does this mean for you? If you're walking into your training already making excuses in your head, "Oh, I probably won't be able to do this. I'll start probably next week. I've been going to the gym for a year and I'm still weak, so maybe I'm not built for this." You're in horseman number 3. You have the wrong mindset, because your mindset is going to act as the ceiling on your gains before you even pick anything up. And if your head's not in the game, then your physique isn't going to be in it either. But if your head is in the right space and you are determined to get those gains, but still see no change in the mirror, then you definitely fall into the 4th horseman. Think about Sakamoto from Sakamoto days. The man is an absolute beast, former top assassin, ridiculous strength, but he let himself go. He got fat. He got softer. He got comfortable. His bad habits were covering his true potential. And that's kind of like how some of you guys are. Even if you think you're doing everything right, the small habits that you're neglecting can easily add up. And if you have any of these bad habits, your gains are toast. Maybe you're sleeping only 5 hours a night, not letting your body recover. Maybe you're doom scrolling at 2 a.m. Again, not sleeping enough. Or maybe you're watching a certain type of animated content that will not be mentioned. Or you're procrastinating your workouts to tomorrow, but then tomorrow never comes. Bad habits are the reason that your results are just covered under a layer of wasted potential. And this is something that you'll need to fix ASAP. Now, here's the thing. You can fall into any number of these horsemen. Some of you are probably in all 4 at once. You know who you are. But for most of you, there's just one big horseman that is dominating your life that you need to tackle first. Your arch nemesis, if you will. Which is why we're going to jump into the protagonist protocol that's going to help you kill these horsemen and start making your gains. So let's jump right into it and see how we can defeat the first horseman. A lot of you guys are doing your 3 sets of 10 to 12 and you're just hitting that number each time. But here's the harsh truth. Your muscles can't count. They do not care if you are doing 8 reps or 20 reps. The only thing they care about is whether or not they can keep going. So the goal for every set is to keep going until you can't do any more. Or you can find that number and then do 1 to 2 reps shy of that, which will get you similar results. And if you're not sure where that number is, stop counting your reps to meet a goal. Rather, count your reps to see how many you can do until you need to stop. And as you get stronger, then you will be able to count your reps properly and then increase the difficulty of your workout over time, which is exactly what I'm going to give you guys in the final section of this video. But the main takeaway of this section is to never feel comfortable, because comfortable is where gains go to die. Always keep pushing yourself and always find your limit with your muscles, no matter how much you hate it. Now, to defeat the second horseman, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. You need to track everything that goes inside your face hole, because it's the only way you're going to know if you are putting on weight, losing it, or building muscle in the first place. That way you can see how many calories you consume, how much protein you're actually eating, and develop a better understanding of the food you're consuming as well as your nutrition. Defeating the third horseman is even more simple. And this is the one most people skip because it just sounds so soft. But it's the difference between people who actually get results and people who spend another year exactly where they are. Think about every protagonist who starts off as small, everyday dudes, only for the end of their training arc unlock a new way of thinking, develop an abundant level of confidence, and create a new identity for themselves. And the reason this happens isn't because they suddenly change the way that they think, but it's because they change their actions, which influence the way that they think. Let me explain. We can't shift our mindset overnight, but we can control our own actions one step at a time, which is going to help us shift our identity. Instead of thinking, I'm someone who's out of shape, and out of shape people don't work out, start by just showing up to your workout space, whether that's your gym or your bedroom, every day. Then your mind is going to think, oh, I'm somebody who works out, which nullifies the out of shape thought. In addition, instead of thinking, I hate my body and I eat junk food, start by buying only whole foods for 1 week. Then your mind is going to think, oh, I'm somebody who eats healthy, which nullifies the hate my body thought. It's just simple stuff like that. From this day on, you are no longer the sweaty weeb kissing their anime body pillows at night. You're somebody who loves their body enough to want to change it, somebody who works hard to achieve their goals, and somebody who seeks constant improvement and never settles for mediocrity. Now, the final horseman is a tricky one to defeat, but he has one glaring weakness, and it only takes one action, and that's putting your damn phone down. The longer you're scrolling on Instagram looking at those AI waifus, the less time you're sleeping and recovering from training. Each time you check a notification and say to yourself, oh, I'll just do it in 5 minutes, that's just another excuse stacking on top of each other. And then every one more episode just takes you out of the real world and makes you feel that life is just slipping away from you. Get off the phone. Get off your games. And dare I say, off the anime. Just a little bit, not completely. So, with the fourth horseman defeated, you have the whole protocol. But knowing the plan means nothing if you don't have the structure to actually execute. So here's a basic 90-day plan broken down month by month so you know exactly what to do to make as much gains as possible. Month 1 is not about going insane. I know you want to go full Saitama from day 1, but you cannot. Month 1 is about building the foundation. First, pick your exercises. Mostly compound movements, not too difficult, but challenging enough. I have a list here of common beginner exercises that I usually give to people. Pause here, have a look, and pick out your favorites. Next, pick out the structure that you want to use for your routine. Something that's sustainable for you and something that you can do forever. If you're just starting out, a 4-day upper-lower split or a 3-day full body split is pretty good, but I always recommend doing a 5-day push-pull leg split with 1 leg day. Next, download one of my favorite apps in the entire world, Chronometer, not a sponsor. And once you have this app on your phone, it becomes easy to log all of the foods you eat and track your calories and macros. You don't have to do it perfectly from the start. You just want to get used to the habit and not worry about perfection. And that's sort of the key theme here for this first month. Do not worry about being perfect. Worry about finding the rhythm and properly integrating it into your life. A workout done imperfectly 4 days a week crushes a perfect workout done no days a week. And by the end of month 1, your only goal is that training feels right and it feels normal. Not painful, not forced, just part of your routine. And that way you can continue doing it past the first month, which is better than 90% of people out there. Now, making it past the first month is the hardest hurdle, but month 2 is where you actually start pushing yourself. First, upgrade the exercises. For example, if you're doing regular push-ups in month 1, try doing decline push-ups in month 2. Add reps, move on to the next variation. progressive overload is your new religion. If you're looking for new exercises, you can pick from this list right here. All progressions are building from the previous month. Now, since you've already found the rhythm and you're just increasing the intensity, it's now time to throw in some techniques that I love to use to make more gains than most people. First one is the rep promise. After you finish training to failure, add on 2 to 5 reps on top of that so that you guarantee that your muscles grow. Second is using more stretch on your exercises. I like to do things like deficit push-ups, anything that adds extra range of motion so that my muscles can work at longer lengths, which results in more gains. Now, of course, exercise is nothing without proper nutrition. So now in the second month, you need to get serious about your food. Depending on your goals, if you want to bulk up, start eating at a slight surplus, or if you want to lose weight, go at a calorie deficit. If you are trying to lose weight, I recommend losing 1% of your current body weight each week for the first 2 weeks. So if you're 200 pounds, that's 2 pounds per week. If you're 150, that's 1.5 pounds per week. That way you get a head start on your journey. And after those 2 weeks are done, you'll go back to losing 1 pound per week. You're introducing more food and it feels a lot more sustainable and it feels like you're feasting. Speaking of food, try sticking to whole foods as best as possible. You don't need to be perfect. At least 80% of your diet should consist of whole single ingredient foods. 20% can be whatever you want if you need that for sanity. Next thing you want to focus on in the second month is locking in on your good habits. Sleep a good 7 to 9 hours per night. Set a fixed schedule for your workouts if you haven't already, and start taking regular time to actually be in your own body. We're not just trying to get physical gains. The mental gains are also important too. Walk 10K steps, meditate, or just sit with your own thoughts for 10 minutes. I do that in the shower every day. Basically, touch grass, you lonely fools. Now, month 3 is where you find out where you're actually made of. This is the final boss month. You go hard. Train as hard as you can physically tolerate. Increase your progressions again. Harder variations, more reps, more intensity. If you're not slightly dreading your workouts, you are not pushing hard enough. Here's the final bucket of exercises that I would recommend for month 3. And honestly, these are all you're gonna need. As for how to execute these exercises, do things like pause reps, slow reps, explosive reps, anything that increases the intensity of the workout. Make intensity a normal for you. On top of that, increase your cardio. We're burning fat. We're getting shredded now. Hit those 8 to 10K steps per day if you weren't doing that before, and add some zone 2 cardio sessions to burn more of those calories. Next up, get really strict with the diet. No junk, tracking on point, and going high protein, low carbs if you want to drop that water retention and look even more shredded. Next up, keep those habits locked in. Lock them in. Sleep, less phone, hydration. Lock in. And by the end of month 3, if you genuinely locked it across all 3 months, you will have made more progress than most people make in an entire year. Not because you had some secret hack or some magical process that no one's discovered yet, but it's because you actually showed up and did what most people won't. And if that sounds like the thing you want to do, but your brain is already scheming ways to talk yourself out of it, then check out this video right here to understand how you can force your brain to stop making excuses and become consistent.